Hi, I'm Henrik, co-founder of WellBiome. I'm going to tell you about the new way to improve your health. Last week, we opened beta testing for the world's first nutrition advice service, which is based on analyzing your gut bacteria. WellBiome was founded by two biotechnology engineers with a vision. Now we have partnered up with a medical-grade DNA lab, and we have 3 advisors with us. A marketing advisor, Andrus, who is also doing marketing for Bike Drive and who has raised 600K for Click and Grow's Kickstarter campaign. Business advisor, Sirli, who has raised millions and has exit experience, and a superstar scientist, Dr. Neumann. We have identified a lot of people who want to change their diet or nutrition habits for various reasons. Today, those people have the option of gathering very general information about human nutrition and using the good old trial and error method to find out what works for them. It's because all the information out there is written according to an average person, but none of us is average. We all are very different, and what makes us even more unique is the 100 trillion bacteria inhabiting our gastrointestinal tracts. So there's about 2 kilograms of bacteria inside us. They help us to digest the food we eat. They make up most of our immune system, and they even affect our behavior. Over last couple of years, we developed a service to study those bacteria and help people have longer and healthier lives. The analysis starts by way of ordering a sample kit. Once the sample reaches back in our lab, we analyze it and we give you a highly personalized nutrition advice to help you reach your health-related goals. The final report gives you an overview of your gut microflora, the metabolism capabilities, and it lists all the nutrients to be consumed and the ones you should avoid. Last week we were on TechCrunch, and we have paying customers from all over the world since then, and we have about 500 people signed up with emails. Next step for us is to find a couple developers for building 1 or 2 mobile applications to help our customers follow the advice we are giving them. So if you happen to know anyone who is suitable for this, please let me know. Thank you.
All right. Dear judges, questions. Tip.
Business model, how do you make money? What's the numbers?
Thank you. At this point, we are going for the business to consumer model. So we are selling at the moment directly to customers, and of course we are starting to partner with big dieting companies and pharmacies to sell our kits. So we just haven't reached it yet. So it will be in the next couple of months. So we're going to try it out. A mentor yesterday even suggested to try out some referral marketing, something like Amway. So we're even going to look into this.
Okay, so what does it cost?
Today it's 129 euros. The price will go down with bigger volumes.
Yeah, but how many samples do you have to do here? So do you have to do 1 sample and that's it? So pay $100 1 year again?
It's we recommend to do a follow-up analysis after a couple of months of following the first nutrition advice we give you, and then continue at least 1 a year. We especially advise you to do another follow-up analysis after serious diseases or after taking antibiotics. Thank you.
So you want to make a mobile app, but you need also physical samples of your conscious of your stomach. So there must be some challenge to combine those 2 things.
Yes, the mobile app is to help the customers follow the advice we are giving them. So it's just In a couple of words, it's something more than a food tire, but the main thing is, of course, the actual analysis, the actual DNA sequencing of the bacteria.
Yes. Do you have the same problem as 23andMe had with FDA regulations? Can you be shut down, or do you need any licensing?
Thank you. This is a very good question. So, what 23andMe does is genotyping. They study mutations in human DNA. We study bacterial DNA inside you. What 23andMe does is they give you an estimation of how good you can metabolize some sort of nutrients. For example, it might say you that you should eat more fats, but or more carbohydrates, but which ones? We can give you, go down to the nutrient level and tell you exactly how to feed the bacteria inside you. So. To be more precise, 23andMe was shut down because they partly shut down because they started diagnosing people, and they can't do it because the statistics isn't just there. In our case, it's different. We approach the bacteria with a systems biology perspective. We know what all the bacteria are doing, and we can understand the whole picture. So it's not the case as we saw with 23andMe. 23andMe was based on association studies, which just didn't have the statistics to prove it.
So you're analyzing gut bacteria, and this is not considered a medical device, and so you don't need anything from the FDA?
At this point, we see ourselves as a wellness service. But of course we.
Like Fitbit?
Yes, but we are going to carry out those clinical trials required to have FDA approvals and to become a standard diagnostics method, because it's very possible to do it in near future.
Fadi?
So. What is the breakthrough here in testing these bacteria, or telling me about the bacteria that I have in my guts today, and then recommending some diets that are going to have better bacteria if I eat this new diet? And what's changed from there? And so that's the first question. The other question is, how do you plan to go to message this? What is the first problem that you're solving? Is it weight issues? Is it mental issues? What is it?
Thank you. So, what's new about this is that we are studying all the bacteria inside you. So we are using the latest DNA sequencing technologies to get most out of one analysis. This hasn't been done before regarding nutrition advice. And why is it important is because everyone has different bacteria, and it's they're affected by their environment, where you live, how much you travel, what you eat, what's your lifestyle, how we were born. So we are all extremely different, and we just see a possibility to make your metabolism more effective.
Okay, so time is up, but Chris, did you have one more urgent question, or yeah?
So you showed us numbers in terms of how many people there were that were potentially, your target market. You showed us target market data, but you didn't tell me in 5 years, how big are you going to be? How many will you have sold? What's your revenue?
Thank you. Yes, we don't have those estimations yet, but as you saw from the chart, today we see our target groups as dieters and those quantified self people who are really interested in their lifestyle. So we're going to go for the direct marketing using online marketing tools, and definitely going to partner with bigger dieting.
So you don't have the numbers right now, but you're going to give them to Chris afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can-
All
we
right.
can talk
Thanks a
about
lot.
it later.
Big hand.
Thank you.
So, our second team up is MageFlow. Please give a big hand. Come.
Hey guys, I'm Gert from MageFlow. So MageFlow is going to double the productivity of web development teams with a simple software as a service solution that automates the entire application release cycle. And now first, I'm going to have to explain a little bit about where we're located. We live in a world of software development that turns over about $500 billion a year. Within that, there's the world of web development. They make all the web apps and websites that you use every day. Within that, there is a web development using open source e-commerce and content management systems industry. And they actually make about 1/3 of all the websites. It's pretty invisible to most people. It consists of a lot of small companies, but there's huge value there. Now, the problem is that there seems to be the notion that web developers are not real developers. And whatever that really means, the problem is that web development industry is notoriously disorganized. So anybody who's worked with a web development company probably knows this. What most people say is that web developers are idiots. What I really say is that web developers don't have the tools that they really need, tools that would really suit them. So that gets me back to my 1-minute pitch. The problem is the high complexity and cost of the currently available solutions. That most web development teams don't automate their development operations. It's a $1 billion opportunity, and by focusing on the open source applications that are used to build 1/3 of the web, we have created a product that is easy to use, but hard to replicate. We focus on specific operations such as deployment, data migration, and testing. This is what it looks like. Might not be too pretty to you, but it's absolutely beautiful to us. And we've received some great feedback from the industry, including some people from eBay that own Magento and other evangelists. So we started developing in August 2013, that's about 7-8 months ago, with a team of 3. We launched our beta sign-up page in October. By the end of the year, we had about 200 people signed up. And we're launching our paid service for Magento in 2 weeks at the Imagine e-commerce conference in Las Vegas. And we're aiming to raise a 500,000 seed round within the year. We're targeting USA, East Europe, and India. US is the biggest e-commerce market. East Europe is where they make most of the websites, and India could literally overrun the world with MageFlow if they could just be a little bit more efficient. We're targeting CEOs, project managers, and lead developers, since they're mostly small and medium-sized companies. And last but not least, we're still a team of 3. It's myself as the enthusiastic entrepreneur. Sven Markel is our mystic architect. He's actually the lead singer of the heavy metal band Herald, if anybody's into heavy metal. And we got our amazing hacker, Urmas Lipso. He's really amazing. I gave him some tinfoil and a Bic lighter and he made a rocket. I'm not kidding. That's about it. If anybody has any questions, here's my contacts. I'm ready for the questions.
All right, judges. Thank you. Judges, Buddy.
So is this a web development framework, or is this a tool, or help me understand exactly what it is?
It's somewhere between platform as a service and software as a service. It's basically a infrastructure independent platform as a service. I know you're a development tool guy, so you would understand this. It combines all the different tools such as continuous integration and simplifies them for web developers. It's really an end-to-end process. So you can start your project on MageFlow and you will finish your project on MageFlow. It also integrates with other development tools such as BrowserStack and infrastructure such as Amazon. So it's really hard to sort of give it a name within the terms that we have in the cloud business, since it is something a little bit different.
And what is it dependent on? Is this dependent on specific architecture or language?
It's dependent on the content. It's 6 content management systems that are used to build 1/3 of the web. It's Magento, WordPress, but you can make mobile sites with these. So like if you go on a mobile website, it's easily could be a WordPress site or a Magento site. So in the web, there's really not such a distinction between like mobile and browser. It's the same thing. Right. It's still, it's still the web. So it doesn't, to me, I don't really care whether you're using it for the mobile sites or any other sites, as long as you're using the content management systems. We don't have one right now. We could have. The ones that we see as the potential competitors are probably platform as a service providers. For example, we're already talking to companies such as Engineered that are really trying to get what we have. Because they're also moving in this direction. But they are infrastructure dependent. There's a huge difference here. They are selling you the whole thing, including the servers or the infrastructure. And that's not good, because most web development companies are never going to lock in themselves into like Amazon or something like that. Their customers are not going to allow them to do that. So you need to be able to use different infrastructure providers. Sorry.
Jeff, I think, was next.
Okay. Can you give me one tangible example of either a real customer or an imagined customer, and what the customer would do with this product?
Well, I'll give you like a real company, like OnTap Group, for example, from UK. They're a Magento development company. They use a lot of offshore developers, Malaysians, Indians, etc. And what they would do with MageFlow is they would basically manage the whole process of building websites using all these offshore developers with MageFlow. The developers would be using a development environment where they would do all their stuff like coding and content. And MageFlow is going to take all this stuff from the development environment and allow the project manager to basically, with a single click, transport all of this into other environments for staging and testing, and eventually for the end users in the production environment. So it's, you might call it orchestration.
Who's the end user?
The end user for the website is you, the one that's using it.
The CEO.
No, for me, the end user is the company that builds websites. For them, the end user is the one that uses the websites. It got a little bit confusing there because, let me try again. Okay, so the way this business works is that there is a company, for example, an e-commerce company, whatever you're selling, you're going to a web development company and asking them to build you a website for selling your goods online, right? Now, we are being used by the company that's building you the website. And we help them manage the process of building that website. It actually gets very, very complicated because it has, somewhat to do with programming, but a lot of actually building a website for you is operations. Getting that stuff that programmers do to different servers so you can test them and eventually get the right product to your end users, who are the ones that are coming into your shop to buy whatever you're selling. So it's slightly complicated, but that's the best I can do right now.
So your customer is the development house, not me as a small to medium sized CEO.
Exactly, yeah. The development house is my customer, and they're using my product to build better websites for you.
All right, so there's a lot of questions still left, but I think time is up. So Chris, you're the last one.
Sorry.
So I'm going to ask the question I asked the previous. Nowhere did you show us any kind of revenue projection. You didn't show us how you're going to make money. So how, as an investor, am I going to make money?
I'm sorry, I had to cut that slide out. We only had 3 minutes. Right now, obviously we're still evolving our business model, but right now, when we're launching in 2 weeks, we're going to be launching a build your own subscription model that allows you to sort of build your own subscription. It's based on a monthly subscription. We're estimating an average subscription to be around $150 to $250. And we're aiming for 10,000 customers within 3 years.
Which means what?
What I just said.
How much, what are your thoughts in terms of revenue? Are you going to have €1 million a year?
Well, 10,000 customers will give us about 30 million euros of revenue. But as I said, this is very much dependent on the reality that's going to happen within I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I can promise all kinds of things, like hundreds of millions, whatever. But the reality is the fact that I have to go out and I have to see what the data is.
All right. I have to cut you off. The time is up. Please give a big hand. Mektory, thanks a lot. And I'd like to ask our next team on stage, Latitude. Please give a big hand.
Hi, Mark Wilner with VisitRed. So we are the other electronic paper company located in Tartu, Estonia. So what's our big idea? What are we doing? If it's printed today, it's big, but it changes, it should be electronic paper. And we want to be the company that provides that. This is outdoor electronic paper, not the kind of electronic paper you see in Amazon Kindle or ebooks. That's a dying market in our opinion. So what we plan to do is challenge the current $1 billion monopoly held by E Ink Holdings in Taiwan with a fundamentally better and simpler technology. And we're targeting an area where they can't go today, which is outdoor. Initially in public information, eventually in full-color advertising. We're targeting two segments of the market. Initially, we're going after outdoor digital signage, where we have the greatest competitive advantage. Large area, which we can do, they can't do cost effectively. Very low cost because of the fundamental simpler manufacturing process and raw materials, and the extended temperature range and long lifetimes that enable us to operate outdoors for at least a decade. We're also going to be targeting electronic shelf labels longer term, but that's not a good business to enter the market with because it's inherently lower margin. So how does the technology work? What we do is we manufacture using a trade secret manufacturing process, tiny microspheres made out of plastic. They're 100 microns in diameter, black on one side, white on the other, and they have a permanent electrical charge. Those are integrated into a silicone elastomer film. Silicone elastomer, just silicone rubber. And under an electric field, they rotate into place and they stay until you rotate them again. And they stay for years. So this is true electronic paper. Consumes zero power unless you're changing the image. So why would anybody care about electronic paper? First of all, very low cost, very thin, flexible, large area, and consumes no power unless you're changing the image. So if it's, say, a billboard and you're only changing the image several times a day, basically you're using no power and it's very, very eco-friendly. If it's a public information sign like a bus stop sign or a rail or ferry sign, same idea. Only when you're changing the information is power consumed. These displays can run 3 years on a disposable battery. Okay, so that's really compelling in terms of cost effectiveness and eco-friendliness. So where we are right now is basically we can compete effectively versus e-ink, which is optimized for indoor ebook applications. And we can compete where you don't need video longer term with LCD TV and LED technology. But if you need video, we don't go there. So this is where we are today. We're bringing an experienced management team to the table. Myself and one other gentleman from the US will be coming to Estonia post-financing. Both of us have over 25 years of experience in the electronic display industry, and we're bringing the inventor of the technology from Xerox into the company as well. He's actually been working with the company now for several years.
You have to wrap it up very, very fast.
Okay, sorry. Business model, basically we'll be manufacturing display modules sold to system integrators. We'll then integrate those into outdoor signage, and we have a complete supply chain in place, including all the partnerships. They're ready to go. All we need to do is close this financing. And basically, we're looking for about €1 million. We'll use it to basically get valuation units to customers, bring the US management team on board, and get rolling. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Deborah.
We're 0 for 3 on what you're going to sell it for and what your revenue projections are.
Okay, we'll be shipping evaluation units at the end of this year, assuming we close the financing. Revenues start at the end of next year, and we're going to be growing to about €40 million in about 3 years.
Yeah?
It was Henry Ford who said that any color as long as black. So do you have colors?
The answer is we have a more credible path to full color than e-ink does or can have. And basically, by making our microspheres small enough, we can actually print them in 4 colors and enable a full color display. But that's not our market entry plan, and that's not built into our revenue plan either.
So if I understood right, is Xerox who is the innovator of the whole core thing, so why did they not succeed and why would you then succeed?
They launched that technology about 15 years ago when there was no market for e-books or e-paper or digital signage. We're relaunching the technology and an improved version of the technology. We're not just taking what they did and copying it, we're improving upon it, both the production process, the cost, the yield, the image quality, and that's what we're relaunching at a time where it makes a lot more sense, not only with respect to the markets being there, but also the complementary technologies like thin film transistors on plastic, which didn't exist 10 years ago.
Can you give a quick estimation of the percentage-wise? How much of this is your innovation and how much is their innovation?
We're continually adding improvements on in terms of the production process and the equipment. Numbers, I would say 70% theirs, 30% ours today.
Alan?
Can you still describe what exactly you are doing, what E-Ink cannot do, and why your technology allows to print the big boards and E-Ink can't do that?
So the E-Ink technology is based on microencapsulated particles in liquid. That their microparticles do not, or their spheres do not actually rotate in the media. They're actually moving in the liquid. The E-Ink technology is dependent on water, and water freezes at about 0 degrees as far as I can tell. And so it makes their technology completely unsuitable for use outdoors. So our number one play is the fact that we can go outdoors. They use organics, we don't, so therefore we don't have the UV degradation that they do outdoors. And because of that, we also have very long lifetimes. So I think the advantages of our technology are really the outdoor suitability, very low cost, because we're basing this on very simple polyethylene plastic and silicone rubber technology and polymer films. And so that's really it. It's just the cost and outdoor suitability for market entry.
Just a follow-up question. Why can't E-Ink replicate that?
Why can't they replicate that?
Is your IP protection so strong on your side?
They can't replicate our technology because the hard part is the trade secret manufacturing process to make our microspheres. That's a very difficult thing to do. Other companies have tried over the last 10 years and failed. The reason we can do it is because we have the inventor of the technology at Xerox on staff.
Chris?
So you borrowed a bunch of technology from Xerox. Talk to me about IP licensing. How does that flow?
So the core patents have already expired. This technology was invented in the 70s by the guy that's working with us today, Nick Sheridan. So any of the patents that we would be worried about have already expired. So what's the barrier to entry? It's the trade secret manufacturing process plus the IP we've layered on top.
Fadi and Tim, yeah.
And what's the scenario would look like if you were to fail? How would this venture fail?
So when I take a look at the risk profile of the company, the lowest risk should be financing risk because it's the only one you can control. And if we were to do this in the US, we would already be done with the financing. So I would say that is, interestingly enough, sort of a high risk, given where we are in Estonia, and there's just not that much hardware investing happening in Estonia, the Baltic, Scandinavia in general. So that's a big risk that I didn't expect. But beyond the finance risk, I would say that the biggest risk is market risk. And the way we've mitigated that is we're out in the market today. We're not a typical European startup, if I can not insult anyone. We've got people talking to customers now, even though we won't have revenue shipments until next year. So we have good market intelligence. We have a good network within the display industry, having worked there for 25 years, and so did my colleagues. So I think we're close enough to the market to at least mitigate the market risk, see what's coming, and be able to respond in time.
Final last short question. No, it's okay. Time is up.
All right.
Thanks a lot. And the next team up is Frund. Please join the stage. Make them feel welcome. Come on, guys. Give a big hand.
I'm Anna from Frund. Hello. Frund is changing the process of web design completely. Out out of all those hundreds of millions websites out there, 80% do not work on mobile devices properly. And it's because someone has to design them. But it's really hard to find good web designers to do that. With Frunt, more designers become web designers. We offer a completely visual web design tool and combine it with open source web design platform. And I'll tell you what that means. So the tool runs in the browser. It has a very easy to use drag and drop interface. And the designer can immediately see how it will look on different screen sizes by tweaking the size. And all that without any coding. The result is complete ready web design that can be sent to clients and collaborators just by sending a link. And they can view it from any device. With a platform, we mean that all the projects, all the web designs that will be created with Frunt for free will be publicly available for others to see, open, and clone and use further. And even you can take a header from one project and text layout from another and create a new one, which is your project. And it immediately has a responsive layout. It's very easy and fast to test it and to publish it. So Frunt is actually adding a new layer in the web design workflow. You can design in Photoshop and import that into Frunt and export CSS and HTML and give it to developer to publish. But our vision is that from Frunt it will be possible to export directly to Tumblr, Wix, and Weebly. But we don't limit ourselves to web design. It will also be possible to create responsive emails and newsletters and export them directly, for example, to MailChimp. We have competitors, Macau, Webflow, and Reflow, but none of those have the platform. We launched a year ago and now have over 50,000 registered users, and half of our active users are returning users. We have a very simple pricing model, similar to Prezi and GitHub, with paid privacy part. Our users are waiting for an app to be linked directly to CMS, and this is what we are bringing them. We are a team of 3 co-founders with very diverse backgrounds, a designer, a developer, and a business and finance person. We are now a team of 9, and we are hiring. So join us to make the revolution in web design. Thank you.
Few judges, questions? Yeah, the mic, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, how do you treat testing? Because many websites actually change like every 10 days or every two weeks, and the major issue is testing, because whenever you create something new, you will create a possibility for error as well.
Do you mean testing like browser testing?
Yeah, final testing of how the website looks for the end user.
So in the tool, there is a preview mode where you can see how your design will look. But I want to stress that our tool is a design tool. It's not a content management tool. So afterwards, you export the design and add it to a content management system, and you can change the content, but you have to do it in a separate place. So you put it on a server and you add it to a content management system. We are just for the design part of the process.
So you can say that Megaflow can be a partner to you.
Yes, they would be like a, how is it? Complementary good. Yeah, complementary service.
Yeah. Right.
So what is your monthly recurring revenue?
So the thing is that we have launched a tool. We haven't launched a platform yet. So we launched the paid version, but it's not really active yet because, in essence, currently all the projects that are created are private. Nobody sees them. So when we launch the platform, then we'll get the real paying users. But we have a couple of them. The revenues are not significant yet.
Chris?
So I'm going to ask my favorite predictable question.
Go ahead.
Do I even have to ask?
Projection.
Yes.
Yeah. My calculations are based on that. I want to have at least 10% of all the sign-ups become active users, and then at least 10% of those become paying users. And according to my projections, it's going to be around 1 million revenues next year and 8 million in 2 years.
Buddy.
So what do you think is the total addressable market?
As I say, we will make more designers become web designers, so we will grow the market. What we can calculate right now is that we know from Adobe Cloud that it was more than 150 million user data was, how is it, like flooded or something. So there are millions of designers out there, and we're going to make this market even bigger.
So what's the bigger vision here? What are we going to do besides just tools for designers? Where could you go from there?
Well, our big vision is that we will create a system where web design becomes a concrete file type, and you can create it and post it on servers. So basically, we take design, we are for designers. Our mission is to help designers. So we want to help designers come from the point when they need a web design to ready website as fast as possible. That's the goal, the vision.
Take over Adobe, bring him down.
Yeah, on the way.
Any last questions?
Who's the face VC?
Inventure.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much. So our last team up is Bikekeep. Yeah.
Hi again. My name is Kustas from Bikekeep. We have developed a platform for secure bike parking that blocks by cell phone or transit car. I think that our problem is quite self-explanatory. Bike thefts, millions of them around the world, different countries, huge problem. And our solution basically is a cloud-based software that controls stationary bike blocking hardware, which is secure and easy to use. So we have two products. We have a bike rack, which is the one above, and we have a bike locker, which is actually in prototype phase and has developed directly from customers' demand. The rack above, we have about 40 of them already installed around Estonia. We have more than 10,000 use cases as of today. It locks both the frame and the front wheel. It's very easy to use, and yeah, it's solar powered and it takes very little space. This is one of the racks that I was talking about. It's installed in Pärnu. I like the picture because there's both elderly and young kids on the picture who both, enjoyed the station. Okay, so that was not intentional, but this is the box I was talking about. This is the first prototype. Yep. And actually, besides the traction that we have already achieved in Estonia, we also have registered an IP, an industrial design in Europe, and I think it was called provisional patent in the US. So, I'm sorry, this is the wrong slideshow, but I'll just try to go along. So the revenue model, we do it based on 1 unit. So 1 unit for us costs $500. Here it's 1,000, actually it's 500 because there's $300 for manufacturing and $200 for installing it. So after installing it, we charge convenience fees from cyclists. They go from $4 to $10 per hour. And our estimate is to get the break-even point some point between 3 to 6 months with a single unit. So after 5 years, it's quite a nice return of investment. We have 4 founders, and actually last week, Kristen Hiema, the CEO of Herpli, joined our team as an advisor. Again, he's not here, unfortunately. And also we have these 3 guys without faces. They're actually way older than us, and they're way smarter than us to help us with the technology development. So thank you.
Thank you. So that's what happens when you send a last-minute presentation updates.
Yeah.
Anyway, questions?
Yeah, first time we saw some figures because it was the wrong presentation. Thank you.
What, is there a question as well, or it's a comment?
Well, actually, I was a little disappointed because based on your 1 minute pitch in early afternoon, I thought that this is a virtual lock with sort of a wireless control of the placement of the bike. But now I noticed that it's more or less a engineering product to replace a chain lock or whatever lock people may have. My only question is that price point, $6 to $10 per hour, seems to be on the upper level for standard bikers. But no other question.
Well, actually, we know that there already is a market for that because, for example, in New York City, in parking houses, cyclists already pay $5 to $25 per hour for safe bike parking. So we believe that if we charge 40 cents per hour, I've also visited the US and talked to the cyclists. They think that it's reasonable if the station is as secure as we promise.
Deborah?
So is it more secure than the locking systems that people buy and carry around with them? You can't cut through it with a hacksaw? Or...
No, exactly. That's the main value proposition here. So the U-lock was invented in '71. Still, millions of bikes get stolen every year. U-locks don't lock both the frame and front wheel. You have to have at least two. And then, racks. At some racks, you can't even lock with the U-lock your frame, for example. So our station locks both the frame, the front wheel. I don't have to bend over, fiddle with the lock and stuff. And it has sensors, alarm system, security camera. It's very secure, mounted to the ground.
I could see why I might want one, but the people you sell these things to are hard to sell to. So cities, apartment buildings, how do you approach those guys and how do you get them to pay you?
Actually, those are not the ones paying us. We basically put them up for free. In return, we get premium locations around downtown, and then we start providing a service ourselves. This is ours. The station is ours, and we provide the service. It involves customer service 24/7, etc., maintenance and stuff like that. And we monetize only based on convenience fees.
Chris?
So I'll loop to my second question. You said you filed for a European patent. What about patent protection in the United States?
We have filed a provisional patent, which in other terms, I guess, is patent pending. So we have 1 year of window to file the actual patent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Preet.
You said $4 and then you said 40 cents. Which is it then?
We want to earn $4 from 1 unit per day. The pricing is 40 cents per hour, and with an initiating fee of 80 cents.
Much better.
Sorry about that, thanks.
And you mentioned several US cities, right? What cities in the US are you currently present?
No, that's our goal in the summer to initiate a pilot.
All right, clear. Any other questions, judges?
So is the user need to have an application on their phone or something, or what's the electronic security situation?
Yes, there are two options. Mobile app, which is provided by our partner, Mobile Now. They are providing mobile payment services for cars already, so they do all the back-end white label billing. And the other option is a magnet stripe card, which is also used in the Bay Area, for example. It's called the Bike Link card, so you can just swipe it and park with that. That's prepaid.
You gonna provide insurance also in case of theft, or?
That's one option that we have thought about, but I don't have any, numbers to back it up at the moment.
Last question.
Quick question about. First, what do you do about seats? How do you secure the seats? Because those often get taken, then you can't use your bicycle at all. And the other one was, what about that box? What's the box?
The box? Okay, I'll start with the first one. The seats and also the rail wheel, which is not locked in our case, we categorize them as vandalism because no regular racks or any sort of stuff works against that. And it's actually sort of conflicts with my second answer to the box. The box is good for because then you can't take the seat or the stuff that you have, your gadgets. But actually, like I said, the box strictly comes from customer demand. They have asked us, for example, if a person wants to commute downtown and they want to leave their bike like in a metro station and for 8 hours, so you want it to be covered from rain or anyone stealing your seats.
All right. Okay, last question.
On the inventive side, I like to ask, do you manualize the easy to your
I'm sorry, please come again.
I'm sorry, all you judges. Alan.
My question was about bike rental. So, do you see this as a market? Would it be a bigger market than just locking him down on my personal bike? Many cities actually have bike rental programs right now, and they all employ similar devices. So somebody's already making some.
So I talked to the CEO of Divi Bikes, which is a bike sharing system operating in Chicago, for example. And 90% of their customers are tourists. Those are not our clients. We want to solve a problem for citizens who want to commute downtown and leave their personal bikes securely parked.
Really short question with a really short answer.
Yes or no, have you thought about doing like monthly memberships?
Yes.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you.
Please take applause. Thank you so much. So, dear judges, please sit down a little bit longer. Please mark your favorite startup, your number 1 and your number 2 right now. Meanwhile, Andres, Annika, maybe we can get the chairs to the stage. Let's see how many we need. Those, and maybe a couple. Do we have enough of those? I think we might need a couple.
I'm just telling you that actually we should have started with drinking and snacks.
We should. Yeah.
You're going over time.
Oh no. We're gonna do this
So
very, very
basically,
quick.
your drinks are out there, but you're not allowed to go there.
I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy. I gotta grow. So, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Tim.
Mike, I have a question. Good question to you. How much money in VC funds is sitting here?
That's a very good question, actually. Shit ton. Wow. I don't know. Good question. You can pick a guess, and then I'll do the voting.
On the first pitch competition, I think we had 1 billion sitting there. I'm just wondering if
it's more.
It's more.
Should be more by now.
It's
right?
more than 1 billion sitting on the stage. Just look at these guys.
All right. Okay, so Tim, number 1.
Mage flow.
Mage flow. So we're gonna give number 1 2 stripes, number 2 1 stripe, and lovely country over there is gonna mark it. Chris, number 1.
Bike keep.
Oh, sorry, number 2.
Wall by wall.
Well by all.
Bike keep.
Chris, number 1 is bike keep. Number 2.
Front.
Fruit.
Well by all.
Well by all, number 1.
And visit track. Visit track.
Visit track number 2.
Exactly the same.
Well by all, number 1. Visit track number 2.
Yes.
Okay, Stefan.
Visit track and bike keep.
All right.
I have visit trip number 1 and front 2.
Okay, thanks, Timo.
Front and well by all.
That's good.
Front, visit track.
Visit tracks.
Visit track, front.
Visit track, fruit.
Bike keep and front.
Bike keep, fruit.
Fruit, bike
Oh, wait. This is going too fast. Yeah, did you? Okay, so that was the row, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
Front and bike keep.
Fruit, bike keep.
Bike keep, visit track.
Bike keep, visit track. Okay, so a lot of stripes. We have a winner, that's great. Do we have a second and third as well?
There's a tie.
Oh no!
There is a tie.
I'm really hoping even longer for the beer. No, we have a tie. That's horrible. Okay.
Maybe it could be good. Maybe you can have a time.
No, we cannot. We cannot have a tie. This means
We can ask more questions.
and we have even number of judges. What I'm going to do is I'm going to.
Should check how many number 1 was.
So we're gonna do this very simple.
What's the time?
Okay, the ties between Visitret and Fruit, and we're gonna do it very, very simple. I'm gonna cut 1 judge out, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start with the second. Visitret and Fruit. Henry, can you mark it? So Fruit 1.
Fruit.
Visitret. Visitret.
Visitret.
Visitret. Visitret.
Fruit.
Fruit. Fruit. Visitret. Fruit. Fruit. Okay. Visitret. I'm telling you, okay, Visitret, right? All right. Visitret, we have a winner. So that means we're going to start with a big hand. What we're going to do is we're going to first ask number 5 and number 4, Mektory and Welbayom, to join the stage. Please give a big round of applause for number 5 and 4, Welbayom, Mektory. Please come to the stage. Where's Mektory? Am I missing someone? Mektory!
Are they quiet somewhere?
Maybe he's already drinking. Alright, then he has to pick out his prize later on. So, one more round of applause, in this case only for Welbayom. You have to put them together later? Okay. Alright. So, our top 3, I'm going to read it out. So we're going to start with number 3, Bikekeep. This is going to receive, wait a minute, this is going to receive, like, pitching in Silicon Valley provided by Enterprise Estonia. Also Arctic 15 tickets provided by S-Bahn and Arctic 15, and a slush free access for the team. Please give a big hand to Bikekeep. Number 2, prize is 1,000 euros from Inventures, also pitching in Silicon Valley, provided by Enterprise Estonia. The Arctic 15 tickets and the slush free access for number 2 team, Fruit! So much. Which brings us to our number 1 and our winner, who will receive 5,000 euros cash from Skype, 5,000 euros worth of services in Silicon Valley from international law firm Reed Smith, exclusive access to slush, 2 tickets to Arctic 15 provided by S-Bahn. Please, Andrus would like to invite you to the stage to hand out the main prize to our winner, Visit Red. Skype for the prize money and everything that's possible. Thank you so much, judges, Inventure, also for the prize money. Thanks so much, audience, for your support, the energy. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'm going to give the word to Andrus to wrap it up.
So, thank everybody who had a terrible, fantastic, awesome 2 days. Not terrible, terrible was the positive side. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Richard, Preet, and I think and the team for keeping this thing alive. And I think Richard would also say something.
Okay. What I wanted to do was first of all, thank all of you for coming, because these events don't happen without a good audience who participates and gives us energy and enthusiasm to do it again. So we'll see you all next year. But we also owe a special thanks to Tim Eric and the people here at the Mektory for allowing us to use their splendid facility, and to our moderator, our Master of Ceremonies. Let's give it up for the Master of Ceremonies.
Last but not least, we will have some drinks and a big cake outside. This is not my birthday cake. It has 59 numbers there, so I'm not so old yet.
So next we will be waiting for your 59th birthday. Next 9 years, Latitude 59 every year, and then we can have a birthday cake which has the same number as the conference for you.
It'll be new cake though.
It will be. And so before we go to the cake and the drinks, 1:30 6, there is a bus going to the center of the city. Thank you everybody, see you next year.